Hey everyone, it's 10 Types, and today I'm going to be doing a tier list of the decks in the format right now, based on how good they are. This is just a very standard tier list, doing it on Trainer Hill's tier list maker, which can be a bit glitchy at times. Hopefully it's not, though. It's pretty good. It like says all the decks. It's based off of Play Limitless, and this will be my thoughts. I did a top 10 previously. This is going to be kind of similar to that. We're obviously talking about more than 10 decks, so some of these aren't as good, but let's just hop straight into it. I'll start at the bottom here, I guess, with Lost Zone Charizard, which is probably what is this? This is the one with, I think, they're both called Lost Box Charizard. I'm pretty sure this is the one with the Radiant Charizard. I'm assuming I should probably say that. It's kind of strange. I'm assuming that's what it is though. I suppose this is on the Charizard EX. I don't quite know. I'm assuming that's what it is, though, and that's going to be an A tier. It's a pretty good deck. Radiant Charizard is a good Pokemon. I don't think it's the best way to play Lost Zone, but it could be very good. Oftentimes, people are putting in Dark Pokemon. Obviously, Sableye is still very good. Cramorant's still very good. Yeah, it's just a very solid deck. You have some versatility. It gets kind of mushed in with the other Lost Zone, the regular Lost Zone as well. But that'll be an A tier deck. Honestly, I'm not sure which. I almost feel like this is supposed to be the Radiant Charger build, but I'm pretty sure this is. I don't know. If someone knows, tell me down below. It doesn't. I mean, all it matters is that you know what I'm talking about, and I'm saying this is the Radiant Charger build, which is better. Fusion. Actually, we'll talk about all the Lost Zone decks now. So we got regular Lost Zone. Got this Charizard EX. I'll save that one for later, but we got Giratina Lost Zone, and I think that's it. Yeah, so we'll save the Charizard EX deck for later. And I think Giratina Lost Zone is also, honestly, it's probably S tier. It's a very good deck. It's a very consistent deck and just works well. It's kind of a boring deck, honestly. It's pretty linear. It's pretty simple. Like people generally think of Lost Zone as being a little bit of a more complicated deck, but Giratina Lost Zone, it's not that bad. Regular Lost Zone, of course, S tier. I think it's one of the best decks in the game, if not the best deck in the game. Um, yeah, it's like really good. I actually want to look at Play Limitless to look at the win rates of these decks as well. Um, yeah, looks like, wait, what is this deck? No, this is the one with Radiant Charizard. Maybe I'm getting them mixed up. No, looks like there's Charizard Lost Box and Lost Box Charizard. Looks like I have no idea what this deck is. So yeah, it's being it looks like Trainer Hill is not quite lined up with Limitless, which is kind of strange. But anyway, so yeah, Guillotine Lost Zone, very good win rate, just like I was imagining. And then Lost Zone Charizard, also very good win rate, less played. And then the regular Lost Zone is pretty decent win rate. It has more options. The regular Lost Zone, like with Reading Ninja and stuff, you have more options and you're just really good. I think it's the best deck in the game. It might not be a great thing to say because it's the best deck in the game because you can play these different decks, but I really do believe it is the best deck. Yeah, and I think it's hard to like. There are arguments that it's not, but it's very very good. We'll talk about the Mew VMAX decks next. As always, I don't think Colorless Mew is that good. I think it's okay, but not great. I just don't think it really leans into the strengths of Mew, and I'd say Fusion Mew's B. Honestly, they're kind of close, but I'll leave them here. I don't think they're super good decks right now. I've always said that. I've never thought Mew VMAX is like that good. Like even when it came out, I thought it was like good, but I feel like it's been overhyped some. But obviously, it performs well as well. Um, and so I don't know. I just don't think it's that good. And if you're looking for a deck to play, it's not one I'd recommend. It doesn't do anything particularly amazingly. Okay, what is happening with Trina? Okay, well, Fusion Mew's on here twice. I guess it's the glitch deck of the week. Yay. So yeah, wait, why does it have different icons? I mean, if you're playing it, like, why do you play it without Genesect? I don't know. As I said, Trainer Hill gets weird sometimes. So yeah, then we got Garchomp up next. Garchomp is not good. It's unfortunately I'm gonna have to put it in D. It's so fun. I think it has potential to be good, but um, maybe it's C. I'll put in like it might be the worst deck on this list though, so I might have to put in D. It's pretty not good, unfortunately. It has potential and it can be like cheesy and funny, but it's not particularly good because it obviously doesn't like It doesn't hit the hardest. It just doesn't have good partners. If Groudon didn't have the cap, I think Garchomp could be like pretty decent, but it does. And then what you got Terrakion, which is all right, but very easy to play around for most decks, because most decks have like Rope or something. And then you have Lucario. Yeah, that's not very good. Lucario doesn't have the cap, which is good, but it's not that good. It's a stage 1 plus stage 2, and it gets all awkward. And you might have some other things. You can do some like funny stuff as well. You can play with like Iron Valiant, and I think it has potential. It will definitely honestly blossom into like a really solid deck down the road, but right now it is not very good. We got Lugias, we got regular colorless Lugia and single strike Lugia. I think single strike Lugia isn't that impressive right now. I'll probably put in C tier. And colorless Lugia, I'll put in upper B tier. It is single strike Lugia. I don't think does anything special right now. It has the inconsistency issues still, but it doesn't have like, I mean, it does have that insane power, but it doesn't have you don't need that insane power right now because there are a lot of like EXs, like basic EXs are pretty common right now, and it's just awkward. It's just not great, and it's not versatile either. Colorless Lugia has a bit more versatility. It has single prizer attackers that are well, that's Snorlax, which is a very good Pokemon. You also have you can play Radiant Greninja, you can play Iron Hands, you can play Luxray, and you can play these things easier with playing like base guarantee, and it's gotten some buffs, and it's just better. Reggies are bad. Like they're obviously just not good. And they're not good. It's a deck that's funny. It's a deck that you can like kind of play now. Like these aren't though. None of these decks are like unplayably bad or anything. But Reggies are, I think, pretty clearly the worst deck on up one of the worst decks on this list, certainly. We'll talk about the Urshifu decks now. We have Iron Valiant Urshifu and Italian Urshifu. Italian Urshifu is definitely a better deck. It's probably upper B. I'd say it's a very worthwhile deck to play. It's a fun deck. It does still have its vulnerability issues too. High HP Pokemon that you can't really deal with. You do have TM Devolution, which is it's a good card, but it's not like winning necessarily. Sorry about that. It's not necessarily winning you those games. It can, but it's like not giving you a favorable or even like even matchup. It could in some, but like against like if you're playing we're set like a VMAX, like a VSTAR, you're just not having a good time. Iron Valiant Urshifu is bad. It's really bad. It's D tier. It's like directly worse than Italian Urshifu. It's not a good way to play Iron Valiant. It's not good. Let's move on to the other Iron Valiant decks as well. Actually, I'll put straight Iron Valiant. Straight Iron Valiant is hot trash. Like it's really bad. Iron Valiant is a really good Pokemon. I stand by that it's like probably the best Pokemon from the set. But it's not good with by itself. Like with probably like Zadge and stuff. It's just not good. You could like tech it in. It's just a cool card. It's a very good card. And it's a really tricky card to play. But if you make it all linear, it's not good. It's also not hot trash in Iron in Urshifu, but like if you put in like a bunch of Iron Valiants and you go for like the Donk stuff, it's not necessarily that good. Anti-Iron Valiant though can be really good. I'll put it in top of B as well. I think it's a good deck. It's not like an elite deck because it doesn't like hit that hard. It has kind of some of the same issues as Italian Urshifu and Iron Valiant Urshifu. That it like doesn't hit as hard, but it still hits decently hard. And it's a basic. It has like turbo burst potential, which is good. We got Palkia now. Palkia is good, I guess. It's going like in B tier. I don't think it's that good of a deck. You have some options. I think it's all right. It's like a fringe deck, and it's always been a fringe. It's not always been a fringe deck, but for a while it's been a fringe deck now, and it's just been okay. And I think that's where it sits. It doesn't do anything like insane. So yeah, it's pretty whatever. We'll go to Arceus. We only have one Arceus deck. This will just be all the Arceus builds because Arceus has fallen off a lot, but it's still very good. It's still like A tier. It gets a little lost on it. Lost on just so good, but Arceus is very good as well. It's more awkward. Its math into like EXs isn't particularly good, which is problematic for it. Like basic EXs or any EXs really. So yeah, I'd put it in A. It's still good though. You have a lot of versatility. You have a lot of, you do have some powerful options, but it's still a little awkward. Arceus still is a obviously a good Pokemon, and it still has potential to be a very good deck for like a while, but you need to be careful and make sure you have the right partners. And I don't know what those are right now either. I think it's probably Flying Pikachu might be on there, and I don't really know. You could play it with like all sorts of stuff. You can play it with Toadstool. You could play it with Roaring Moon. You could play it with Umbreon. Umbreon's very good. You can play it with Vulpix, still very good, but I don't know the right build right now. Zoroark box is not great. It's C probably. I'll put in top of C. I think it's like not the worst deck in the game by any means, but obviously consistency issues, batting spread, batting on certain builds of spread, certain like spread based decks, depending how fast your opponent gets set up, which is probably faster than you, because as I said, you have consistency issues. So Zoroark box is not a great deck. Unsurprisingly, it's never been a great deck, but it's not awful. It's not unplayable. It's pretty much where it's always been. Serena is so weird. I really don't know where to put this. I guess I'll put it in like B. It's okay. It's not like that good though. It's fine. It's weird. It's kind of cheesy. But it's like a very good cheesy deck, I'd say. It's a deck you should be like aware of and like kind of know how to play against, and you just need to target certain things, and it can definitely struggle to get KOs because like their whole idea is like they don't KO you, yeah, and they go for some sweep attack or something like that. But then also they like it's a weird deck. They can like control, and it's just super strange, but it's very beatable. I've played against it a few times with like a weird deck I have, and I've like beaten it, I think, both times. But like it's just weird. It's probably the hardest deck in this list to rank, or the hardest deck in this list to rank, but it's still it's pretty good. You got Cloth Electrode. I mean, this deck also obviously isn't that good. I'll put in bottom of C. It's not unplayable. It's okay. It has some like turbo burst potential. It's single parts basic. It hits hard. It's fine. Snorlax is S. Bottom of S, I think, is fine. Actually, no, it's better than. I'll put it above Giratina. I'll put it where I put it in my other rankings. Actually, no, I'll put it below. Actually, could it be the best deck? There's a chance it could be the best. It's somewhere in S tier here. I'll put it as the best deck. I guess it's really good. Like it's clearly one of the best decks. I think it is the best deck. Like it's really good, and a lot of people say that like control isn't as good in tournaments. So Snorlax control being like still winning tournaments, even though it like doesn't work well within the structure. I guess I don't pay that much attention, but that's what I've heard. That means it's like super good. Like IRL and online tournaments. It's easily S tier, probably the best deck in the game. Gholdengo is very mediocre. It's I mean it's really powerful, but I'll put it in top of B honestly, or I'll put it below. I'll put it in middle B. It's pretty good. Obviously, it like hits hard. It like one shots everything, which is really good, but that's about it. It's not anything super impressive. Miraidon and Roaring Moon, two decks are like the same deck. Honestly, they're not very good. They're not that bad. I'll put them in C. I think they're the they were like decent C tier decks. I'd say Roaring Moon's better than Miraidon. Doesn't have that like longevity, but does have better turbo potential by like a lot. As it pretty consistently attacks turn one. Miraidon Fluffy does not consistently attack turn one. It can. It definitely will, but it doesn't always. Roaring Moon pretty much always does. Going second, obviously, and that's it. Like that's Roaring Moon's whole thing. That was also kind of Miraidon's whole thing, though. Roaring Moon hits harder than Miraidon as well. Yeah, but neither of them are great. They have like no versatility. Miraidon has more versatility. Miraidon potentially could adapt more, but yeah, neither of them are great decks. Chimpalp Caliber is obviously a very good deck. I'll put it in A. I'll put it bottom of A. I think it's probably where it belongs. It's a bit of an awkward deck to play. People like jumped all in on the Iron Hands train, which wasn't like the greatest thing in the world. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing. But I think Chimpalp Caliber is still super good. It can like beat any deck in the game if it like sets up. And like things go its way, which is very impressive. Not every deck can say that. With the two Charizard decks, I give the Charizard is A. plays Lost on Charizard, that's a D. That's not good. That's not a good way to play it. But regular Charizard is still very good. It's A tier. Fusion Mew, oh yeah, that was like an extra. And then Gardevoir it's probably top of A. I don't like it that much. I don't think it's that like I don't play it that much. I always find that like doesn't work super when I play it, but actually it's below Lost on Charizard. And yeah, I think this list is very solid. I don't think I misranked anything here. I could put Lost Box Charizard higher, which is the one with Charizard EX, but I'm not like going to do that. I think there's no reason ever to play it over. Like if you want to play Lost Zone, play Lost Zone. If you want to play Charizard, play Charizard. Putting them together doesn't really help the deck. It just creates like a lot of clunk. So yeah, overall that's my thoughts on the meta right now. Though I think this is pretty accurate. Snorlax is super good. It's like really good. Its win rate's like pretty high. Not absurd, but it's pretty high. Let's see. Yeah, Inteleon Urshifu Zone is super high. Palkia Chimpanzee is like super high. Where did I put Palkia? I put it in like B, but I don't think like these decks aren't super. Obviously, like, Palkia Chimpanzee is not highly played. Inteleon Urshifu is somewhat highly played, but not super highly played. And then like Street Entei, like bro, who even plays this? And Mew Genesect, obviously, I don't think it's a very good deck. It doesn't do a lot well. People like don't like play well against it. Like it's super vulnerable to like everything, which is a bit of a problem. Like it does have how many switch it run? It runs like 3. So you could boss trap, which is a bit of a pain for them. You can like one shot 2 Mews and win, which isn't like that hard to do. Like a lot of decks some decks can do that certainly. Like it loses to a lot of the top decks in my opinion. Obviously it doesn't necessarily do that. Like Path, Judge, Grabber can like ruin your opponent's day. Not in or yeah in that order. But then aside from that, I don't think it's that like that good. So yeah, overall, this is my thoughts on the meta. I think this is pretty fair. Actually, I might move Fusion Mew down to like here. I'll move it right next to the colorless Mew. But overall, these are my thoughts on the meta. Obviously, that's like not super exact. I mean, this is what I think, but I could definitely see switching them like a few places. But overall, I am interested in hearing your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing, liking the video, all that good stuff. I'm excited to see you in the next video. See you.